It is Monday, January 25th, 2015. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if the Democratic Forum has ended, but I have ended watching it. And I'm just trying to find where this little noise is coming from in my system. I'm done watching it. Bernie Sanders kicked it off at 9 o'clock. Then we had Martin O'Malley, and they closed out with Hillary Clinton. Part of me feels like, not to be conspiracy theorists, but every little thing matters, right? Sometimes when we say we don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, you end up missing some things that are obvious. And to me, the entire thing was set up for Hillary Clinton to have the last word, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now, I could be dead wrong, and you can absolutely disagree with me, but I really believe that this was set up for Hillary Clinton to get the last word. Now, she just got through presenting. I think she did a great job of presenting. I think Martin O'Malley did a great job of presenting, but there's a difference between presentation and substance, right? We get into the habit in politics evaluating people solely on their presentation with little emphasis on the substance of what they said. That being said, despite what Bernie Sanders said, despite the context, the content, despite everything he said, the takeaway that CNN, the people hosting this, the takeaway they came away with was that Bernie Sanders is going to raise taxes. I'm looking for the tweet, actually. Here's my tweet. I'll share it on my screen so that you can see it for yourself. But, no sooner than he got off stage, here it is. No sooner than he got off stage, they declared, Sanders, we will raise taxes, as though that was the totality of everything he had to say, which it clearly was not. But that just goes to show you the emphasis that they are going to place on Hillary. Now, I seriously wonder what they are going to do for the headline for Martin O'Malley and for Hillary Clinton. I wonder what the headline is going to be for Hillary Clinton, because if all they took out of everything he talked about the environment, he talked about raising the cap. One of the most significant things to me, because if you know anyone who has family that is on Social Security, I have family that's on Social Security. One of the most significant things he mentioned was the fact that he is going to propose raising the cap, the salary cap on Social Security. That's not a little thing. But I guess I've gotten into the arguments, and I didn't really want to start there. And so allow me to circle back. I'll come back to the individual arguments. The fact that we had a last minute forum and not a debate is really amazing to me, that they will pull this together at the last second for Iowa, when people have been asking for a debate, more debates, nonstop. And this wasn't even a debate. This was everyone get on stage for 45 minutes and just talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. Or, they'll ask some questions, but let's be real. The questions are well prepared, well selected. The people are well groomed. I think only one person messed up asking their question in the whole night. That's how every question was well prepared, filtered, and prompted. So this was not a debate. This was a piece of cake walkthrough. No real challenges from other candidates. Why at the last second will they have an event in Iowa after months of demands from people to have more debates? But instead of having a debate, they have this forum that gave a platform for people to just talk. Now, I think like I said at the very beginning, I think each candidate presented well, but it's not really about, or it shouldn't be about just their mere presentation skills, because for that matter, Martin O'Malley actually had some phenomenal presentation skills. And actually, I think in 8 years, with a whole lot more progressivism in his blood, I think Martin O'Malley will be okay. I think he'll be a great viable candidate for president. He does this local politics thing that is really refreshing, right? People don't do that anymore. Politics has become nationalized. Oh, everything has become about the national politics. Martin O'Malley has gone back with the old adage that all politics are local. He did a great job comparing the overall problem with our economy, where we are trending towards monopolies, and he brought that down to a micro level there in Iowa, saying that there's egg industries. The egg industries in Iowa have consolidated into 4 major manufacturers instead of the multiple manufacturers that they had in the past. Great approach. Great job that he did presenting. But in terms of substance, you don't get any pushback in this type of format. You don't get any type of interaction. You don't get any type of cross-examination. All you get is pretty much a 45-minute stump speech. And if you like your candidate, then you're going to love what they did. If you don't like your candidate, you're not going to like what they did, right? So, I try to be objective in the sense of evaluating them all fairly. But still, even you're evaluating them all fairly, it's the interaction, it's the actual debate that helps you purge and see some of the inconsistencies that even the most seasoned political observer may miss. We didn't get that. Debbie Wasserman Schultz robbed us of that opportunity, but she instead provided an opportunity for all of them to have this last minute hoorah. Now, here's the thing. I think this last minute hoorah is actually going to benefit Martin O'Malley more than it's going to benefit Hillary Clinton. I think Bernie Sanders is going to continue the trend. He's in some polls. He's leading now in Iowa. I think that trend is going to continue. I think Martin O'Malley is actually going to benefit the most from this last ditched effort that Debbie Wasserman Schultz put together. He's going to benefit the most, not in terms of chipping away from Bernie Sanders. I think he's going to benefit the most because his 1%, he has like 1% support. That last thing that he said about hold the line or stand firm or hold, I forgot what he said, but basically saying, there's going to become a point in the caucus that if he doesn't have enough support, that he's going to have to recommend who his delegates would go to, his caucus goers would go to rather. And he said, no, hold the line or hold firm. Whatever he said, it was great. And I think Debbie Wasserman Schultz put this together at the last minute to benefit Hillary Clinton, but I think ultimately it's going to help Bernie Sanders the most. And I think not Bernie Sanders, but Martin O'Malley the most. And I think Bernie Sanders will be fine because of his ground game and everything else. So I just, personally, I don't like the games as though nobody's going to notice Debbie. I want to talk to Debbie Wasserman Schultz for a minute. You can't run a national organization as though only a few people are a part of it and nobody else is really paying attention. Because something that Hillary Clinton said at the end, perception is reality. And the fact that the majority, I can't say the majority, I don't know the actual statistics of it, but quite a few people are really disappointed in the manner in which you have carried yourself as a Democratic national chairwoman. And then this last minute forum, instead of a debate that people have been asking for, you're doing it as though no one is going to notice and no one is going to care. And that's rather dismissive. That's extremely dismissive and condescending. So I'd be interested in seeing how her primaries go in Miramar, Florida. Hopefully I can get the candidate to at least do a call in and drop his name in terms of what he's doing in Miramar, Florida, because Debbie Wasserman Schultz needs to go. Now, that being said, we had to deal with what we had to deal with. I'm late, 11 o'clock at night, because she decided to drop this at the last minute. I mean, I could have put together a show, but Debbie Wasserman didn't consult with me. So, but anyway, the point is, here we are, last ditch effort in Iowa, and you have these 3 presentations, and I think each of them presented well, but in terms of substance, it was found wanting. It was found wanting, even with Bernie Sanders.